So I play the partner of the main character, James Badgedale from Hightown, who you were talking about. I heard you talking about on the show.
Good. He's a really good actor.
He's great, and a great guy, too, and he's phenomenal in this. And I play his partner. His son gets addicted to fentanyl. And I don't want to give away the plot, but Ben Foster plays an amazing role in this. Melissa Leo, who was in The Fighter and is an Academy Award winner. I've done a few movies with her.
Don't worry, Wiggy will spoil it as soon as he sees it. He'll spoil it.
And I like, what's his name? Michael Mando, Nacho from Better Call Saul.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's really good.
And that's the thing about this movie, that when you see this film, there's not per se movie stars in it, but there's a lot of great actors. And the ensemble cast is just something else. It's,
and if you
really
called the movie Nacho, Wiggy would love it no matter what.
No, he was good in Better Call Saul. I mean, he's a tremendous actor. He's in one of the Spider-Man movies. But yeah, I really enjoyed the main guy, James. What'd you say his name was?
James Badgedale.
Yeah, from Hightown. He did a good Boston accent when he was on Hightown, and I know from seeing the trailer, it looks really, really good.
Where does the film take place?
In Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa's very popular, I feel like, in entertainment right now.
I've shot 6 films down there. It's become kind of like a home away from home, and partially because the director of this movie is from Tulsa, and he and I have developed a pretty tight bond over the years, creatively and personally. He's a good friend of mine. And also my former bandmate from House of Pain and La Coca Nostra, Danny Boy, he bought the Outsiders House Museum. So I'm down in Tulsa.
We did
often.
Wait, you should go there. You love the Outsiders.
Yeah, I love, and the Tulsa is big. Obviously, from the movie The Outsiders, I love that. But also the Tulsa King, they show a lot about that. There was this new show I just finished watching called The Lowdown with Ethan Hawke, was based out of Tulsa. Yep. So they're doing a lot, especially like a lot of like drug type of crime stuff comes out of, like, you know, I don't know. I think Tulsa's like kind of a rough area. Yeah. So there's like a lot of shows that
it's a major city though, right? Like Tulsa's
kind of. I mean, it's not like up here.
Right. No, not up here, but for that area of the country.
I think it's like a growing city, but I think formerly kind of dilapidated and in a growing city. But, you know, there's oil business down there and all that. But the main thing, whenever you see places kind of come up shooting movies and TV shows, there's a tax credit. Right. And that's, you know, that's why Boston shot because we had the great tax credit.
But I think they got rid of that.
I think they're fighting for it. I think it's still in effect, but they're, you know, fighting to keep it. And I hope they do, because I would have never got my shot without that.
Well, I think the new tax credit is you get credit if you make a film that on bikes and in a bike lane. Now, is King Ivory? I don't want to assume, is King Ivory the kingpin, or is that?
It's just the name. It's one of the street names of fentanyl that they use in the movie. So.
How did you end up with this role?
Well, John Swab, who's the director, I've done 5 other movies with him, and he reached out to me to be a part of this movie. And, you know, it's something the subject is close to me. You know, like you guys know what I do on a daily basis, kind of on the front lines with addiction. And I've lost a lot of people to fentanyl. I think we all have, right, in this city. So this kind of subject matter to me, you know, I got 2 movies coming out on the same day, but this one's like my baby because it's like a real personal.
As an actor, like, do they send you a script immediately, or do they just talk to you about the role? Like, how does that work?
Script.
It is.
Yeah, they'll send a script and you read it. And, you know, I'll get a lot of things that they send to audition, but I don't really operate like that. I don't chase auditions. If somebody knows what I can do, they send me a script, and if I like it, then I'll do it, and if I don't, I'll just pass on it.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to ask, because I don't know that you ever told us a story, and Courtney asked how you got this. How did Ben Affleck end up getting you for Gone Baby Gone?
So the Boston Herald did a story about my music in 2006, and I was in a rough spot at the time, but you know, I was squatting in a warehouse, and the Herald
Where was that?
It was on Shirley Ave in Roxbury, and we were supposed to build a recording studio there, and things fell apart due to a bunch of different circumstances. I ended up squatting in this place for 8 months, and excuse me, and then the Herald ran that story, and Ben kind of plucked me from obscurity, and my career took off from
How
there.
did he find you in the warehouse? Like,
Well, I was in the paper. He didn't know. He didn't know I was in the warehouse.
That's great.
I did my best to kind of
You're like hanging out in the warehouse. Ben Affleck shows up in the warehouse, like, hey,
to
Slaine
make sure
around?
I came clean and washed. But
But do you
amazing,
think
though.
a lot of
awesome.
do you think a lot of it is, you know, when you make movies, right, and they're good actors, but sometimes the authenticity of an actor from that area, the portrayal comes out a lot different on screen versus somebody who's not, and they're trying to, you know, come up with the accent. Do you think that's part of, like, you know, especially a movie like, whether it's the Town or Gone Baby Gone, where they're like, all right, we want to try to get people from there, but that are also are good actors.
yeah, I think that's where Ben always got it right. You know, he got authentic people. You know, he used a lot of local people, but you know that can also go wrong. You know, there's a lot. Just everybody thinks they can act, but you know.
Yeah, like Kim Kardashian. Right?
I think Slade's story is so unique in that you got this job, you got famous while you were still using, and then here you are now with rehab facilities and your career. You got a premiere coming next week with King Ivory. Just how has that been for you, where it's like you reach these highs, literally, and then now your career is taking off absent that? What's changed, and how has that sort of evolution been?
Well, I think I had the opposite trajectory where my career kind of crashed once I got sober.
Same, I met Greg.
And I don't think it's because I got sober. I think I was actually kind of blackballed from my use. I think, you know, nobody tells you when you're messing it up. You know, the phone just stops ringing. And,
So were you continued using during Gone Baby Gone?
well, I was actually, but
Okay.
not to the height of, you know, I was able to keep it together when we were shooting. I wasn't on set like
Yeah.
that.
What about
and
the Town?
during the Town, I was sober for the run of the Town until the end of it. And then things really started to unravel. The worst trouble you can run into when you're in addiction is when you're having success,
Yeah.
right? When the answer is always yes, and your bread is getting buttered on both sides, and you know,
Yeah.
that's not great. That's not great when you're in active addiction.
How do
You
you
need to be authentitious. What's the authentatious? What?
Authenticious.
Authenticious.
how do you, like, I guess, like, because you said, like, you know, they see you and you're addicted, and obviously it affects your performance and maybe affects you showing up, but then they get this, like, you know, this, like, oh, he's not going to be able to show up. And so how do you, as an actor, because you see so many people talking about staying a working actor is so difficult, how do you fight that challenge where you're like, all right, I've changed, you don't have to maybe worry about me not being what I need to be on set?
I think there's never been that kind of explanation. I think it just has to happen organically, and I don't think acting work came back for me until it was clear that I was, like, even just working as an advocate and doing all this work, it was clear to everybody that I was a changed person. But that's why I love John so much too, because John, when I was blackballed, was giving me work in these movies, and we were kind of building something together. And not for nothing, this movie, which I'm really excited for you guys to see, this is John's breakthrough movie. It got into the Venice Film Festival as an independent film. It won an award, and now he got signed to CAA, and he just got a big movie with Jerry Bruckheimer and Will Smith, which he's about to direct now, and that's why he's not going to be at the premiere, because he's prepping to shoot this film.
Wow.
Will Smith is still alive. I didn't know where he.
No, he's still out there.
But he's still out there. Now, you have graciously offered to do a premiere of the film on Tuesday night, and it benefits the Greg Hill Foundation and the work that you do with Grand Rising, and then those who are fighting addiction. And I think is it pretty much sold out? Like you announced it a couple days ago.
It's sold out.
Okay.
And, I'm excited to work with you on that, man. You've been such a supporter for so many years, so it's cool to be able to collaborate on something.
Wiggy denies it, but I'm a big hip hop guy. Like, I mean, Shine played the Counting Crows there, and I almost left the room.
He's a massive popcorn guy too, so the movie's always got him.
Free popcorn.
Actually, I like the Butterfingers. That's my go-to at the movie theater. What's your go-to? candy-wise?
I like the popcorn. I like the Sour Patch Kids for candy.
Oh, what is it with the sour thing? It's
Yeah.
driving me nuts.
Tell you it's
Well, I like
Everybody-
the contrast between the salt and
Yeah.
the starch and then the.
Yeah, I like a bunch of crunch, and then if you add them into the popcorn, it gets a little chocolatey in the popcorn. Pro tip.
Greg just sneaks in a protein bar.
We have, though, the opportunity for the last 4 seats, essentially, which we could auction off.
Yeah,
Is that true?
You
Okay.
know.
So if you would like to go, you can. Why don't you shoot me a DM on Instagram and tell me how much are the tickets to go to the event?
I think we did $100 a ticket for the foundation.
Okay, and it includes a Q&A. Like we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to do a Q&A with me and the producer. And,
Okay.
we're going to be hanging out. There's a VIP section and
Okay, good.
all that good stuff. And it's the first time the movie doesn't come out until Friday, so it's a premiere
And it's happening down at Patriot Place.
at Patriot Place.
Okay, so if you would like to make a donation and you would like to be there and see the film, the premiere here locally, then just shoot me a DM with a bid, or if you want, you can call here and we'll see what we can raise for those final 4 seats at the movie theater. Which I love to go to the movie theater. Like, it's a lost start.
And then when you like certain movies like this, when it looks like there's a lot of action, there's a lot of high intensity, and you always want to be in the theater to see that, especially on these new screens that they have. But the one thing I'm always fascinated with to talk to actors, because you talk about everybody thinks that they can act but everybody wants to do it, right? I think it's like we all fantasize about like, if I could ever do anything being in a movie. What's that like? Is it difficult to remember lines? Because I always wonder, like, is that the hardest part for an actor, is like kind of remembering your lines? Or do you just kind of like dive into it and become that person?
So I had no formal training as an actor, and Ben gave me he taught me, and what an amazing opportunity to have him as a director, who I think is one of the best directors in the world of this generation for sure. I mean, but he told me, don't worry about the lines. He goes, understand the story and be the guy. The lines are whatever. And that was such a freedom to have for my first couple roles. I made up Authenticious. I made up the Jack Clark line, and but it was stuff that you could play with and kind of freestyle, which I was used to doing just from a hip hop background. I think the biggest challenge is like the comfortability in front of the camera, and not you. Sometimes I can watch somebody and they can feel the camera on them, and it's like super awkward. It takes you out of the story.
Right.
So it needs to be, there's no cameras there. You're just in the moment, in the scene. And that's the difference between somebody who could be good on screen and somebody who can't. As far as the lines though, that's it's like a muscle. The memory, when I understood that, memory is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Okay.
The Town, in your opinion, is that his best film?
I mean, I'm partial
You're
to
biased.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like The Town as his best film, but Argo is amazing.
Geely.
Yeah.
Gone Baby Gone is great.
Right.
I like The Accountant, both of the
Oh
accountants.
yeah.
But I also like, I'm just talking about what he directed, the Jordan movie, I forget the name of it.
About Nike.
Oh,
Nike
The-
movie.
but
that was a good
sneaker,
movie,
it was
actually.
great.
It didn't do that great, but it was a good movie.
I think, we're up against it with nobody goes to the theater anymore. There's a whole different way to watch movies
Yeah.
now. So I think we're in this middle ground.
Like,
We were
what would
just
be-
talking about that I love the movies, and I
Me
think
too.
that certain movies should go to the theaters instead of going directly to streaming, because people miss it on streaming. There's too much content to consume.
There's a movie, One Battle After Another, that's out right now with
Oh, we were
just
DiCaprio and
talking
Sean
about that
Penn.
the other
He says
It's one of the
stinks.
best movies.
No, I didn't say
Really?
I said
Yes.
people say it stinks. I haven't seen it.
It's one of the best movies I've seen in 10 years. And
The trailer was kind of.
but it's like, if you like Pulp Fiction and those
Yep.
kind of movies, did you see it?
I haven't seen
No,
it, but
you just
talking
I
about- you
no,
just talking
but
about how great it is.
I
He
heard
hasn't seen it either.
I heard that it was great.
He
Greg
thinks
said
Sinners-
yes.
He thinks Sinners was a good movie.
It is.
Sinners was pretty good. I thought Sinners
Pretty
was
good. Okay, it's not a great film.
No, it's not a great film,
Okay,
but
thank you.
this
Thank you. That's
no.
it. That's all.
this
I
is
need. Thank
this
you.
is a great film though.
All
This
right.
is a classic. This is
All right,
Sean Penn in this movie. He'll win Best Supporting Actor.
really?
Yeah,
Love
really?
Sean Penn.
It's phenomenal.
I mean,
It's an
Leonardo
iconic movie.
He
It's
doesn't
great.
make a bad movie, really. Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't think he's made a bad
Yeah,
film. I mean,
well, DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro's in it, and Sean Penn.
Heavy
So
hitters.
those are three of the best
And I
of
heard
all time.
Tiana Taylor's really good in it. I heard good things about the movie. Greg said he heard bad things.
I just report the news.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
it lost $100 million.
It lost
though.
$100.
But-
It lost $100 million.
Right, but see the problem with and Sean Slaine, you could talk about this.
Oh my!
You could talk about this
Don't
better.
confuse us.
Yeah, you could talk.
He could play Shyam in a film, though.
Right,
If they,
I could play him in a film.
but you could talk about this better than anybody. Right? Sometimes we get caught up in how much money the movie makes. Right? You look at Marvel, you look at some of these DC movies, and they
Wicked.
Wicked. They make a ton of movies, but people get
what,
caught in
like
that.
Cecil B. DeMille.
No, but some of the best movies don't make that much money.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people instantly go, oh, it didn't make money at the box office, so it's got to stink.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't view things like that at all. I mean, my favorite movies are indie movies and kind of art films. So maybe I'm different than most people, but action movies to me, you know where they're going, you know how they're gonna end. They're fun, but I'd rather see a movie like One Battle After Another, which is like iconic.
I will
Slade, can
watch
I
it
ask you
now.
one more question?
Yeah.
When do you know a movie like The Town's going to be great? Like, is it when you're reading the script? Is it, when do you feel like you're a part of something that's going to be transcendent?
Not until you see it in the theater, and it's like it's so nerve-wracking to see something for the first time because I've been on both sides of the coin. Where you go into a theater and you go, oh my God, I'm embarrassed to be in this. And then, and then The Town, which was just so good when we saw it, it was like, boom. And I did see The Town in advance. Ben screened it for me in LA, and I got the chance to see it before it came out. But yeah, you don't really know until you see it because there's so many things that can go wrong. It's not like music. In music, you make the song with the producer, and that's it. In a movie, you have so many people who are on the team. I mean, that's why you don't see actors who are, have this big egos as like a Kanye West or somebody like that because they're depending on the rest of the team. An editor can make one performance either great or the same performance can be terrible based on the edit. The sound man can mess the movie up. The lighting can mess the movie up. The direction, the script, right? So you never really know until you see it come all together, and that's part of the magic of it.
I felt that way when I saw The Fighter for the first time. I was an extra in that, and I was very nervous about my appearance.
Really?
Yeah, I
Did
was.
you make
Some-
it? No,
Yeah, I made it.
You made it in
Yeah, I
there?
was.
Yeah,
in
The
there.
Fighter was great.
Yeah.
That's a great film.
Thank you.
And then some movies turn into cult classics where they don't do as good in the box office, but then later on when it
Later on.
streams or when it, back in the day when it came out.
I thought you were going to ask him the question you asked Kiefer Sutherland that I still think about this day.
What's that?
To this day, where you were like, did you turn down a movie that you regret?
Oh, like a role.
Yeah, like you read a script, you're like, nah, not for me, and then you watch it, you said,
Yeah, I actually have one like that. Did you ever see the movie Fruitvale Station? Speaking
Yes.
of sinners.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, so I got offered, it was a small role on that, but it was like the guy who sparks off the riot on the train or
Yep.
whatever. It was a cool role. And I didn't turn it down because I didn't want to be a part of it or like the script, but I had a tour booked, and I had missed a couple tours because we shot The Town and some other stuff, and the band needed me to be on the road. So I tried to get the dates moved around, and they were like, nah, man, we rented the subway station for that day. Like, we need you that day. And I would have cost the guys in the group a lot of money to miss those shows. So I turned that down.
And Ryan Coogler is.
And my agent dropped me because I turned it down. She's like, you don't understand. This guy's going to be the next Spike Lee. And you're going to turn this role down?
You could have been in Sinners.
Yeah, I know.
Ryan Coogler, man, he's like one of the young up and coming directors, and I did hear somebody talking about even those opportunities where it might not even be the role, but it might be the director. Where Fruitvale Station was Ryan Coogler, and then this guy goes on to do Black Panther, and makes a bunch of he's like making a bunch of great movies, and you're like,
Yeah, to be thought of like that.
Yeah.
And you could be, somebody could love what you do as an actor, and you could have a good relationship, and 2 or 3 movies can go by and there's just not something for you.
Right.
But to be in the bullpen with those. I mean, especially I'm a character actor. I'm not a movie star. So to be thought of, especially when someone's doing a great project, it's like, to me, I don't care how big the role is. If I have a moment and it's a great script, I'm down. You know?
It's so cool.
Yeah,
It is. It's called King Ivory, and it's in theaters next
November 14th.
November 14th.
Yep.
But we will see it with you on
night.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to have a good time.
Good luck on it.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
thinking of us. Thanks for coming by this morning, Slaine.
Of course you. Also, I have a new album out. It's called The New State of Grace. Came out 2 weeks ago.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
It's with Static Selector.
If Shime were going to rejoin later with a song, what would you like?
It's all good.
It's all good. Okay. All right. We'll do that later. Slaine, nice to see you.